Hi, I'm Intekhab. I work at Intekhab Services and I'm a junior software test engineer.
Why?
And I will be delivering my speech without any further ado. Nice. Okay, that's my introduction, so let's not worry about that. Well, I'll be focusing on is precisely on these particular tools that are marked star beside their name, such as the first 5 or 6. But there is an array of tools that we normally use, but they are not actually for testing or for test purpose. But we use it for accelerating the testing process, so to speak. So let's not get into that. Let's go to the fun part, the demonstration. Well, this is what the login module of Therap actually looks like, the Therap, the application. And before I move on, I just want to add something that Mr. Arif from Millennium has said, that in one of the things that you have said before is, if you want to describe a certain bug to a developer, I mean, how do you actually do it? I mean, rather than actually telling him, okay, fine, I found a bug, but you have to articulate that bug, you have to explain that bug. Exactly. So I will be focusing more on that as well. I mean, the tools that we use, they're basically, I mean, they help us as well, but it's more of articulating the bugs to the developer so that it makes their life easier. Okay. One of the very first things that I'm going to show you first is Firebug. It is an extension of Firefox. We do not have to buy it. It's in the web. You can download it, do whatever you want with it. It's a very handy tool. There are a lot of things that you can actually do with it. Focus on the screen for a second here. You can monitor the HTML, you can monitor the CSS layout, you can monitor, for example, the maximum length of a particular text area and all that. So let me give you just a small demonstration. Just click Inspect, go here, and you can see all the information that is going to be here, including, well, not the hidden ones. So you can see that the CSS layout here actually tells you what this particular text box is all about, or how it was made, or what are the things that went behind making it. So one of the examples that I'm going to put forth is there was actually a problem with the text box that actually says login name. Some of the letters used to get cut because there was a height defined in the CSS for that particular text box. So, well, I could have just as easily told the developer that there is a problem. Some of the characters get cut in that particular text area or particular text field. But I used Firebug to actually find out where the problem actually occurred. And when I told the developer, he was actually very happy because I made his life easier because he knew where he had to fix or where he had to go rather than going all round and round. So those are one of the other things that Firebug can do. And among the other things that, okay, I'm running out of time, that I will be telling you is Grease Monkey. Grease Monkey is a very handy tool that it's yet another extension of Firefox that we use. It actually helps you install JavaScript. I mean, it actually helps you install JavaScript in a particular browser, namely Firefox. But there is also another tool which is called GM for IE or Grease Monkey for IE, or there is another product called Turnabout which actually helps you do the exact same thing that Grease Monkey does for Firefox. So let's see a small demonstration. In Therap, we mainly focus on 2 languages, English and Spanish. So interchanging between these 2 languages is somewhat difficult because we have to log out and log in with another language. So we wrote a small script that actually changes the language of this entire application on the fly without having to log out and then log in again. It's in English right now, so let's click on this button. Let's reload the page. It's going to take a few seconds, hopefully. No, it's taking more than a few seconds. But that's what it does. So, okay, the internet connection has been, I guess, yeah. Yeah, okay. So I guess I have only one more minute to go. And among the other things that I wanted to actually tell you are Web Developer. Web Developer is another extension of Firefox that we use to monitor cookies. We use it to monitor a certain page layout, and we use it to monitor certain page information, which will help us actually accelerate the testing process. I mean, the things that I've told you before actually does accelerate the testing process, but the other tools that we use, it's actually for enhancing communication between the testers and the developers. That is our main goal. Finding a bug, good. But articulating the bug to the developer is actually the main thing that we should be looking forward to. Thank you.
We really would have loved to see what you were supposed to show, okay? So I'm sorry about the internet connection. Well, so next time, don't use the internet in Lightning Speaks, Lightning Talks. All right, that was very interesting, and I'm sure you have a lot of questions for him. And we have only one more speaker after that, and then we'll be done. Any questions?
You must have things to ask as well. Just an observation here. A lot of your tools were especially made for or with Firefox, and it seems to me that Firefox is the pet of developers. Unfortunately, most of the users haven't found out that there are a lot of better browsers than Internet Explorer around. But if these tools are mainly available in Firefox and developers love to use them, and SQS love to use them, we may risk focusing in our own little world. Are we prepared enough for a full browser test or full scenario test?
I'm sorry, I'm not getting your question.
I say that.
Could you please give an example of what you're trying to say?
Well, I observed that developers love to develop in Firefox.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of tools there that helps your testing also in
Absolutely.
Firefox. But are we fair enough towards the users that don't use Firefox so that we cover all the aspects of the other browsers as well?
Well, that's what we normally do at Terra, because two of the very most popular browsers that our clients use is Firefox and IE. So the developers at Terra actually have to look into it so that the browser compatibility issues are taken care of. Because there are certain things that actually looks very good in Firefox but gets all jumbled up when I move to
I think
IE.
the question was that you're using a lot of tools in Firefox.
I was getting
but you're
into
not
that.
getting.
Oh, I was
You understood that?
explaining it, but I was getting into that. So, yes, there are few things that we can do with IE, but from the testing perspective, I think Firefox gives you more tools or more extensions that you can play around with. But IE, IE6 or IE7, except for things like GM for IE or Turnabout, I don't think there are much that actually helps the testers articulate more bugs to the developers. So the developers at times are a bit wary about how the application is going to react when it comes to IE. So if that answers your question.
Just to answer actually your question is, there are days at Terra where like it's a Windows day, it's a Linux day, it's a IE day, it's a Firefox day. That sort of process we actually use. Like if for that certain day, the testing team or the developer team tries to stick to that particular browser, and developers all around that.
So as a tester, I'm not really comfortable testing with all those tools in IE because they don't support it. Firefox does. So well, could be, but I don't think so, because just as Turnabout has come in, which is another extension or an installation package for IE, there would be many.
আমার কাছে একটা কোশ্চেন ছিল, সেটা
জি,
হচ্ছে
জি।
মানে আমি যখন পেজ ফ্লেক্সেও কাজ করতাম তখন আমি দেখেছি যে আপনি গ্রিজমাঙ্কিতে যে এক্সাম্পলটা দেখালেন
জি।
এটার জন্য সেলেনিয়াম নামে একটা টুল আছে,
জি।
সেলেনিয়াম এবং সেলেনিয়াম রিমোট কন্ট্রোল
IDE যেটা।
রাইট, এবং এটাও ফায়ারফক্সের এক্সটেনশন, এটা কিন্তু খুবই হ্যান্ডি।
অবশ্যই, বাট আমার আজকে মেইন টপিকটা ছিল টেস্টিং ইউজিং নন টেস্টিং টুলস বা সেলেনিয়াম আইডিই, সেলেনিয়াম আরসি সবগুলো কিন্তু টেস্ট কেসকে রান করার জন্য ইউজ করা হয়, সো এর জন্য।
This is more of a comment rather than a question, and this is in light of the previous talk and subsequent questions and this particular talk. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the speaker to bring up an important topic, because the job of QA is not really just to report the problem. You actually have to analyze the problem and see, like, how it can be solved, and do your, that's part of the job. And it's not really us against them when you're talking about coders versus testers, because you're really part of a team, and the objective is to create a very good and solid product. So there's no competition between the two, and you have to work hand in hand to get to the final objective. So it's really encouraging to see that the testers are not just focusing on reporting problems, but actually working with the developers to help them solve the problem.
Thank you.
think that এটা আমার এক্সপিরিয়েন্স থেকে যে আমি আমার প্রিভিয়াস কোম্পানিতে যখন আমি টেস্ট করতাম তখন দেখা যাচ্ছে একটা প্রোডাক্টেরই আইতে এবং ফায়ারফক্সে দুইটা পার্টিকুলার দুইটা ডিফারেন্ট রকম বিহেভ পাওয়া যেত তখন যেটা বাগি হতো। তো আইতে এরকম কোনো প্রসেস আছে কি যেগুলো এরকম ফায়ারফক্সের মতো অ্যানালাইজ করা যায়, কিংবা অপারের জন্য এরকম কোনো টুল কি অ্যাভেলেবল?
I'm sorry, but এর জন্য এরকম ভালো টুল এখন পর্যন্ত আমি পাইনি। যদি থেকে থাকে obviously there could be, but এখন পর্যন্ত আমি পাইনি। আমি বেশ কিছু R&D করেছি, যেরকম ভাবে ফায়ারফক্সে যেগুলো খুব রেডিলি পাওয়া যায়, এরকম ভাবে আইতে এক্সেপ্ট ফর টার্নঅ্যাবাউট, যেটা বেসিক্যালি গ্রিজমার্কের কাজটাই করে, জাভাস্ক্রিপ্ট গুলোকে ইনস্টল করে ফর দ্যাট পার্টিকুলার ব্রাউজার। বাট আদার দ্যান ফায়ারফক্স অ্যান্ড ইটস হ্যান্ডি টুলস, আইর জন্য টার্নঅ্যাবাউট ছাড়া বা ট্রিক্সি ছাড়া, ট্রিক্সিও গ্রিজমার্কের কাজই করে, ওগুলো ছাড়া খুব একটা বেশি কিছু পাওয়া যায়নি।
Okay, for I actually found like web developer helper. This is developed by one .NET guy, and this is working fine. I mean, this is just like a Firebug in Firefox. This is similar to web developer helper. I don't know whether you know about this. And also there is another tool.
Developer helper.
If you search on Google, you'll find plugin. It's worked with I 6 and 7.
Okay.
So it's widely used in .NET people and other things. And there is another tool for IE, like Firebug Lite.
Firebug Lite.
Yeah, it's not actually that much feature full, but it's working at least. You can at least use the console to debug out your JavaScript and everything.
Wonderful. I mean, I can answer his question again because IE is coming up with other things just like Firefox is. So there you go.
Big hand for Intekhab.